guys, I'm Meg from LovenStamps, and this is Maker Mornings with Meg. So I have a project today that is a great one for card makers. So one of the things that we do, right, is have to have little gifts to give to people. And I often find that cards are a perfect gift. So but you know, just like giving someone, you could just make a stack of cute cards and put them maybe in a cello bag. The cello bags are in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. Wrap a ribbon around it and give that as your gift. But sometimes it's fun to make like a set of cards that looks like, you know, cute stationery, kind of all put together in a little package that matches and has all the pieces. Hey Pam and Rita and Sue. So today we are going to make exactly that. We're going to use the top paper from the annual catalog, and we are going to make a set of cards and a card box, and it's going to take less than, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. So it's a pretty quick set of cards to do, and I think you're really going to enjoy them. Plus, it makes the most of the designer series paper. Does anybody know what the most popular one is? Dun, 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 drum roll. It is the hand-penned paper. So this one here, with all these pretty florals on one side and the pretty neutral patterns on the back. And so the card that we're gonna make actually takes advantage of both of those things in one package, which is perfect. And since the designer series paper is on sale for just a couple more days, you could actually make the project we're gonna do today with any of the designer series papers, and it would be great. But this one especially is perfect because of the way the pattern and the solid colors go together. So I'm gonna show that to you too. So hand pen, you knew it. I know, actually, I have to say, sorry, I haven't used hand pen a ton since the catalog came out in May, but it is a really gorgeous paper and it is the most popular. Now I can't remember. Oh, the Tidings paper, the Christmas paper from the annual catalog was second, and third was no surprise to me. It was the peachy paper. Looking for a card here, this one, peachy paper here. And of course, you guys know that I am a huge fan of the DSP card base, where you use the designer series paper as the base of your card, so you get to see both sides. And when paper's on sale, that's a great way to make the most of it. So, oops, I dropped that on the floor. Okay, all right. If yours is almost gone, Sue, then don't forget to get more before the end of the sale this month. Okay, so I'm gonna flip you guys down this direction. Let's see, and move you a little closer and get us all kind of centered here. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna use hand pen petals, and this card is actually, let's see, I'm looking for the right page here. This card is actually a really simple one, but I thought, why don't we start with a box? Because then I'll show you how the card coordinates with it for a really simple combination, okay? So when you have a box, the boxes are actually, they are acetate card boxes. They're in the back of the catalog. The supply list will be in the video description shortly. It's not quite yet, but it will be there when I'm done. And they are the perfect size to fit one of our sort of half sheet card sizes, okay? So we're gonna start off with, I think I actually need you guys, usually I have you closer. I think, hello. I need you guys to be a little further away so that we can see more space. And oh my goodness, we're like all discombobulated this morning. Is it Monday? It's not Monday. I got no excuse. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get going here. Now, the designer series papers, you can choose any of them. I've started with a 6x6 sheet, so all of these could be card boxes. And maybe I'll go with the green one next. This one's really pretty. So you just need a 6x6 piece of paper and your paper trimmer. So I'm gonna pull this in here. And sorry guys, like all trying to get us in the frame this morning is fairly strange for some reason. So I am going to go ahead and pop this across here. And I'm going to cut a 4-inch section that's going to be the center of our box. So I'm gonna line this up at 4 inches and cut. And then I'm going to go ahead and split this remainder piece in half. So I have 1 inch and 1 inch and cut across there. Okay, so now we have 3 pieces of paper that all go together. They're conveniently matched like front and back with the same pattern color scheme. So that makes them really easy to go together. Let's see. We have any more space now? Sorry, I keep moving you guys around today. Anyway, so what we want to do now is we want to put these things back together because we want them to fit as a belly band on our card box. And belly bands are a really terrific way to accent a card box. So here's the tip for you though. When you have these long strips, it's a little tricky sometimes to get them straight. So instead, what I want to do is I'm going to get it straight, but I'm going to use my paper here. And you guys cannot even see what I'm doing. Oh my goodness. Sorry, everybody. Are we in the frame now? Okay. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and get you guys set here across this grid paper. So you can see I've lined up my paper here, and I'm going to use my multi-purpose liquid glue, which I'm choosing because it gives me the ability to slide things just a teeny bit after I've popped them down. And I'm going to overlap there 1/2 inch, which I can see because I can check it on my grid paper. And so now I know that this piece is nice and straight across there, okay? Now I'm gonna do the same thing for the bottom of our paper. So I'm gonna scoot this here so you guys can still see. I'm gonna keep that lined up so it's sort of in the right place to begin with. And then I'm going to go ahead and put another line of multi-purpose liquid glue. This stuff is awesome. We're gonna use it when we get to the card too. And I'm going to line this up. So again, I'm going to use my grid lines so that I can see that I'm getting these pieces straight, and there we go, okay? So you can see how that grid paper is really a handy tool to have there. And I'm going to give this kind of a minute to just like grab so that it's really nicely bonded, and then we're going to move to our card box. So our box is going to have this wrap on it, and I'm going to go ahead and close the box because it's a little bit sturdier to work with. When you do that, you want to just go ahead and fold on all of the score lines. The acetate's scored for you, so it goes together easily. But make sure you fold tight on those acetate score lines so that it stays where you want it. And then we're going to go ahead and put this on our box. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of line it up straight, and I'm looking at the edges here. And I'm just gonna give it a little like notched fold. I have it centered, and then I'm just gonna pull it out and crease it, okay? So that at least makes it stop moving around on the box. Then I'm gonna wrap this around, and I like to just give that a little pinch there. You can crease it along the edge of the box there, and you can even just take it off once you've got it started and you know where your spot is, and finish the crease, okay? So now we have that. And then I can flip it around this side, hi Carol, and do the same thing. And I'm just going to pinch here right along that acetate edge, and then same thing, pinch here along the back. And you can see how nice and straight it's come together at the very back. And just because it's hard to, you know, press that down, I'm gonna use my Seal Plus and put a line of Seal Plus, that's the strong one, across the back. And I'm just holding this belly band really tight as I go. And now we have a belly band that is nicely attached to our box. Okay, so we need some decoration on our box, but I'm gonna get back to that because in the meantime, I want to go ahead and show you our card for this. And so I'm going to bring in our hand pen stamp set, and I also want to use some designer series paper, but I want to make this simple, right? Because we're making a set of these. So I have a sheet of the thick basic white cardstock. Remember, you want to use your trimmer or your scoring plate to go ahead and score this because the thick cardstock doesn't like to be folded this direction. It wants to be scored so that it goes where you want it without a crack at the top. And then, hey Dawn, good to see you. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fold this. So I'll unfold it so that we can work with it. But I'm going to start off with a piece of the Coordinating Designer Series paper. So I have, I'm going to use this one here. So we have our green here, and that, of course, is the solid side from this. And then one of the beautiful things about the hand pen suite is the set of dies here that coordinate. And so I'm going to pull out this detailed one there, which has, if you want to do the stamped flowers with it, you can stamp the flowers and then die cut them. There's a lot of flexibility, pretty other flowers here. But remember, this one's going to kind of be our quick card. So this die here, and just cut this from basic white cardstock, which through the magic of television is done here, okay? So that kind of gives us a pretty starting point. And now we need to kind of finish creating our focal point and connect the layers and get these pieces all together, okay? So I'm going to use the stamp from the background here, or for background here. I'm going to use this guy right here, and I'm going to pull in the black, because if you look at the hand pen flowers, they are all outlined in black and then sort of splotchy watercolored in a pretty way. So I'm going to make the most of that by using our hand pen stamp. Try not to stamp up my box. And go ahead and pop this on here. So let's see. If I'm using this as a guide, but I'm going to take it away for stamping. Go ahead and put a flower up there. And maybe a flower down here. And I think I need something over here. I'm going to leave this space up here all kind of open, but let's try one like that. Okay. All right, there we go. So now we have our design element kind of added to our background, and we have our card. Now on here, you can go ahead and add a strip with a greeting. If the paper is really light, you could go ahead and just use the background or use the paper to do your greeting. So I've got the thanks here from this stamp set. I'm going to pop it there on the bottom, okay? And then add our flower here on top. All right, so now we've got like our background and our foreground connected, but I want to add a little bit of embellishment to this. And so I'm going to bring in the black and white string. Now this is actually from a pair of ribbons that are in the catalog. They are the Playful Pets trim combo, so you get the red and the black and white, and I use these super unevenly. Hi, Jenny. I often run out of red, and then I run out of black and white, and I almost never use them together. I have some Playful Pets cards that use them together on my blog, but I often use them apart, and I do love the black and white trim for this. So right now, the black and white is the one that I'm super favoring. So I'm actually going to go ahead and bring this around, and I don't honestly tie a lot of bows on my cards these days, but the hand pen kind of begs for a bow. It's a very delicate, kind of a little bit ornamenty kind of floral, and it really likes bows, I think. If hand pen could talk, it would say, yes, I love bows. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and tie this bow on here. I'm gonna give that a little longer strand just for the art factor of it. And then you can see I got it a little close, so I'm just gonna twist this here on my card so that it has a little bit more space there to show off on its own. Okay, so we're still gonna need another embellishment in here, and I'm gonna give you a couple options, but pretty good so far, I think. So let's go ahead and stick down our element here. And then remember, we're gonna take these same elements and we're gonna move them back with our gift box here when I finish the front of this. And then I'm gonna show you another example of this card because it is so easy to duplicate and to make the most of the papers. I mean, you've got the whole pack of paper, you might as well enjoy several of the patterns and colors. So, plus if you're giving this as a gift set, maybe somebody has a favorite color that they're wanting to use. So, all right, I'm gonna use my multi-purpose liquid adhesive again, and I'm just gonna pop some adhesive or some glue here just on the big open spaces. And remember, you guys know what I'm gonna say, right, about this glue? If you can see it, it's enough. And so then this is gonna go on here like so. Now, green, the multi-purpose liquid glue with a green lid always needs an extra second to dry. So I'm gonna pop a block on top of it just so that it will stick for us. So you just gotta give it a second to bond. And then I'm gonna bring in here the Genial Gems, which are from the Hand Pen Suite. So actually these are part of the Suite collection, so you can get all of the things together. But our green here, you can see that I really like the papaya ones, and I'll show you a sample of those, but the green here are really pretty too. So I'm going to open these up. I'm sure that's fine now. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to do our slide and stick. So I'm gonna slide the gem sideways and pick it up. And let's see, I think I actually want to emphasize our focal point. So this thanks word. And so I'm gonna slide. Oh, this one doesn't wanna slide very well. There we go, slide and stick. So I'm gonna pop one there and then maybe one more out here someplace, maybe on the paper. Oh, did it go on there? It's not very obvious. It's got some, like, here, maybe I'll just pop a couple more in there so they're a little more pronounced. It's got some pretty sparkle to it, which I don't know if it's gonna show up in the video super cleanly, but here, I'll kind of move the card around and you can kind of see. All right, so there you can see kind of our sparkly gems there, okay? So the same version of this card in the peach color is here. So you can kind of see how that works. If you're using the darker papers, you might consider doing like a layer for the greeting instead of stamping it straight on, but that kind of gives you an idea of how those two work. And then of course, with your gift set, you need envelopes. So I have here an envelope, which I would stamp to match. So let's kind of bring this in here. I'm going to use that same stamp from our floral background and add this. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to incorporate this same design element on our gift box. So, and I'll do one more up here, and it's apparently going to go right there. Let's see if we can kind of, there we go. See, nobody even will know unless they see this video, so don't tell them. All right, so then we have our envelope here to match our cards. And here's another envelope here. This one I did in gray, which is kind of a sneak peek, so you'll see how that works in a second. But a really elegant, simple card to put together. So let's figure out now how we're going to finish decorating our box. Oh, and I didn't tell you, the pieces of DSP that I used were cut there using the Stitch So Sweetly dies, which are my go-to for lots of things. I love these rectangles. And you can see how handy they were to have that scalloped edge and that little stitched line. Lots of great detail on them to make this shape for this panel card, okay? All right, so now we're going to use another one of these. So we're gonna do this here as we go across and cut that from basic white, which through the magic of television I have done already. And then we need to bring back in this this element, right? This floral. And so let's pull our band off here and let's go ahead and put that element right here on the front of our box. So I'm gonna do the same thing kind of where on our card, I overlapped the little rectangle and the stamped shape. So I'm gonna pop this up here, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and pop this rectangle on. Now, honestly, I'll show you my other one. I was gonna put the rectangle down here, but I managed to not get a great image there. So I think now our rectangle is going to go here. And maybe I'll put another floral up here just to kind of continue that design. All right, I'm gonna make sure I get a better ink on here. So twist, twist, tap, tap when you're using your Memento ink pad. And since this is gonna be covered, I'm not gonna worry too much about overlapping in that messy area. And then I'm going to, there we go, get a good image on there. Okay, shh, don't tell people about the mess underneath our label. But you can see now that that kind of has a continuation of our pattern. So to go with this, I am going to use a greeting. There's not really a perfect greeting from the Hand Pen Petals set. So instead, I am going to bring in Biggest Wish, which is a great stamp set for all kinds of greetings, obviously. It's got a couple really different fonts in it, which means that it kind of matches everything. So what should we stamp on the front of a box? A box of cards. How about hello friend? That would be kind of a fun thing. So let's see, I'm gonna start with the hello background. And when I opened this, I'll show you what I saw. I saw this. I was like, oh, that was pretty. I kind of like that with the gray that I did that one time that I didn't need the second one for happy birthday. And so I was like, oh, and that actually would be a perfect match for our box here. So I went ahead and did the friend and hello. Where's my hello stamp? There it is. Okay, so for our white, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp the hello. I brought in my smoky slate, which is the lightest of the, I'm gonna call them true grays. I do love this color. And I think I'm even going to stamp off because I want a really light hello. There we go. Okay, so there's our hello. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use my Memento Black. Remember to use your scratch paper, right? We used our grid paper to line things up. Use it to do your test stamping too. Kind of picture like how far across you want your things to layer so that when you go ahead and stamp your real one, then you've got it kind of where you want, okay? And so then our hello friend is going to pop here in the front. And I might go ahead and put this on dimensionals, but because I'm covering up all that stuff that I have underneath, I'm just gonna go ahead and use it straight on there. So this is gonna come across like this. How far across can I get it? I don't really wanna make it, always smush from the backside. I don't really wanna make it centered. So I've got it centered and offset, so. All right, and then I can pop my box back in here, and then we have that. Now this, I feel like needs a little bit more embellishment, don't you guys think? So we have two embellishment choices based on our cards. We have our Genial Gems embellishments, and we have that thread embellishment, that black and white ribbon. So I'm gonna bring this back in here, and I could tie it across there if I want to, but I've already stuck it down, and so I think I'm just gonna tie a bow I call a bow tied on nothing. Did you guys see that? It's pretty simple. If you haven't done this before, you're going to make a loop, like you're just gonna make a loop, and then you're gonna go ahead and tie around it. So wrap around the loop and then put your running end through the hole and kind of cinch it around to where you want it. Just kind of get it a little tight. Remember, I always say I keep my loops really small so that they're in proportion with what we're doing. So if you ever feel like your bows aren't quite what you want, try cinching the loops smaller, and that really helps to kind of put them in the right scale. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pop this here. The easiest way to stick a bow on nothing down is to use a, where did it go? Is to use a glue dot, which I had here a minute ago, but now it's missing, so I'll grab some more. And I'm gonna pop this under, and I just sort of roll this like a little taco or little burrito, and pop that on the back of the bow center. And even for this small twine, it's a good size, so then that sticks on there. And then we would go ahead and fold up our envelopes and our cards, and these fit nicely here in our gift box. So there's this gift box. The other one that I made earlier used a different designer series paper and has the background there with the sort of papaya color on it. So gives you really a lot of possibilities for putting these together. And you can see, I love to make things that use the same kind of set of supplies so that it makes it really easy to sort of get the most out of what you've ordered. So these use the Genial Gems and the ribbon. They use the hand-penned petals bundle, which of course has the dies with it. So they're bundled together in a discount if you buy them together, and then adds the Biggest Wish for just extra flexibility. And of course you could use the Biggest Wish to add more greeting choices to your floral cards and so forth. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Does this look like a gift set that you would be able to use to go ahead and share with a friend. I know especially lots of people like to give Christmas cards for holiday gifts. I hear that from stampers all the time. Like, oh yeah, my mother-in-law loves my cards. I always give her a big box of them at the holidays. So you can imagine how much she would enjoy having a set like this, which really you can use kind of for all purpose. And you could even leave the greetings off. There's plenty going on these cards. So if you wanted to make them just note cards with no greeting, you could certainly do that. Just, you know, use the floral. I'd edge it down just a little bit so it's a little bit more centered top to bottom. And then you could leave them open-ended for the recipient to use for any occasion. So Dawn says yes, she would give it as a gift set. Oh, yay. Well, so this is the time, if you're thinking about this as a holiday gift for this year, sorry, I'm really close. If you're thinking about this for a holiday gift this year, this is the time to stock up on designer series paper. So hand penned is, like I said earlier, one of the papers that is just really universal. These florals can be used for anything. Other thing that's nice about it is there is a 12 by 12 paper, so you have the ability to do this wrap. So this was a 12 by 6 strip that I used to make the wrap for our gift box. I don't remember if I said that or not. But the designer series paper from the annual catalog are all on special right now for 15% off. So definitely, like Cheryl said, a great deal. And you know, the other thing that's great about hand pen is that it is good for all year long. So you're not limited to certain seasons or something like that. The peach paper is beautiful and was number 3 in most popular papers. But I kind of feel like it's a little bit more like narrow in terms of like times of year you can use it. Other suites, a great way to figure out what papers you might like is to browse the suites, either in your catalog, if you have a paper copy, or in the online store. You can click through and you can look at the different suites that are in there. And each suite has a designer series paper with it. So if there's a certain stamp set that you love that you think might make a great set of cards, then think about the designer series paper that matches it. So like the hand penned and the hand penned petals, or what are the other suites that would work really well for this? Pansies would work nicely. Let's see, in the wild. Yeah, if you're a lover of those cute tigers and leopards, in the wild could work. Artistic expressions would work great. Sweet symmetry, I have showcased a few times lately, so there's some ideas for that on my blog or Facebook or YouTube, LovenStamps. And that one would work. Even Bloom Where You're Planted would be a good year-long choice because it goes with so many, you know, it's just a nice potted plant kind of thing with a lot of great greetings too. So kind of look at the designer series papers that are on sale and the suites, the stamps and dies that match them. So yay, Carol says she'll be making some of these. And Margie says she's got her hand pen stamp and paper out right now. Perfect timing. So, well, I will let you guys go to work on your projects, but boxes and sets of cards that are really easy and duplicatable make a really fabulous gift set. So whether you're thinking ahead for the holidays or whether you just need some hostess gifts or some fun things or cards to use for yourself, right? Kind of fun to have this little stationery box that you could keep in a drawer in your kitchen or wherever you like to send your cards from, and pull these out, and you can always make more, right, if it's yours. So all right, guys, have a super fabulous Wednesday, and I will be back on Friday with another project for you. So have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon. Happy stamping.